Mr. Redmond kind of expressed little. He's not satisfied or content with what the pastors have been doing, and where Mr. Redmond was incorrect, please correct him. Take the microphone, please.
What, on Pimpology?
Yes.
There is no correction. He was right on time with that. You know, my stance on that has always been and always will be, when I see what's going on in the pulpit and how it's being done, I look at religion from the point of view that has always been a system of pimpology. Even from the time of Nimrod all the way up to now, which is basically what most religions are based on anyway, it's been a system of pimpology. Somebody has to be in control over the masses. And what's the best way to use it these days? They use what they call the Bible, which is really the scriptures. They use the Bible, which is basically a history book of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. It's not about anybody else but them, and it has one common theme. The Father says, do right as I command you to do right, and you'll get everything else that your heart desire. But we haven't. We've fallen into these religions. We've fallen into hard times. We become a byword and a byproduct in the mouths of all these other people around the world. And that's the reason why we as a people and a nation have been at the mercy of these pimps out here. And I know not every, we'll say preacher, for lack of another word, is guilty of this concept. But you can sure look around and point fingers without even having to look hard. Now, I bet you it would be harder to find those who are doing something realistically rather than those who are not. I've had some who, one individual whose name I won't call out, who actually was supposed to have been next in line when his father died, to go be a preacher in that church. And I asked him, I said, what's the big deal? He says, well, this is his quote. It's a business. Business I've been pimping all my life. I'm going here to pimp them, and this is what we do. I said, yeah, I just want to say.
Now, you were told this?
Straight up. And I won't tell you who it is because I don't need no ill feelings towards, him and his congregation. And that's telling me that this is the whole concept that they've been going. I'm not going to go against what Jim said because you know what my stance on it is. See, the problem is we want to stand up here and we're going to talk. Everybody's going to say this and that, one thing and another. But until we get correct about who we're serving, how we're serving, we're going to stay blind. We're going to stay dumb, stupid, barefooted, and pregnant, so to speak. No roof over our head, no food to eat, and no place to go. No window to throw anything out of because it's going to belong to everybody else. Until we get to the point of realizing who we are as a people, as a nation, when we get to that point, and we start pulling together as a people and a nation, then we will be able to move forward.
But when you say we as a people, we as what kind of people? We as Fort Wayne blacks? We as what do you mean?
We have to get past the word Fort Wayne blacks, okay? This is just not about Fort Wayne blacks. This is about Israel as a whole, the remnants of Israel as a whole, up and down the Americas and everything, but we're focusing here on Fort Wayne. And we're going to focus on Fort Wayne even here. If these jackleg pimps, as they've been called, would come together and come out of there, it's a me thing, then we won't have that problem. We can get past that problem. It's not about you, it's not about them, it's about all of us. We all have to come together and everything. We need to put the religious thing down and start coming together, get these history books out and start studying these history books and seeing exactly what it took for us to get the blessings that we were supposed to have and why we didn't get them. Y'all think we're here because in this country, because, and up and down the Americas, because the European came and got us. No, that's because we're being punished. We're being punished because we were being disobedient. Our forefathers were disobedient. We had 1,500 years of enslavement by Islam. We came to this country, 400 and some odd years now, here in this country, in the same type of enslavement. We are emancipated. We are not free. They didn't say nothing about you being free. They said you're emancipated. Go back and look at the movie on Lincoln. We'll emancipate them, but they're not having the same freedoms that we have. This is two different things.
All right, wait a minute now. You just said that that, where does white supremacy fit in this here? I mean, the whole thing about, I mean, the slaves made America America.
Well, on the backs of the Hebrew Israelites here, yeah, America was born. I'll agree with that. And the enslavement and the white supremacy and everything is because we gave it to them. We gave them an opportunity to march in on top of us and treat us like we've been doing. We gave up our rights as a people. Here in the now, we're still giving up those rights. Every day that we depend on welfare, we depend on food stamps, we depend on all of this stuff. We've got guys here, people here in this company, we got even here in this room, we have entrepreneurs here that can get out there and do. They're always talking about the billions of dollars that are floating free out there and everything that you can go get for little or nothing or free and all this. We need to start investigating that stuff. We need to do the research on that and get this type of money. And like you was talking about them not, well, it was Jim that said that they do their little thing and everything. Well, we need to build co-ops. We need to get our own grocery store. Everybody else has got theirs. They come into our neighborhoods and take everything we got. They take our money out of our neighborhoods. Why? Because we're too busy trying to stab each other in the back. Because we will not co-opt together, be cooperative together with each other.
But I talked to this one family that had a grocery store, and it seems like when we have grocery stores or certain establishments that look real nice, that's someplace where we won't shop or we won't go by there because we don't want to make that person wealthy off our dollars. There's a mindset there that's totally against, I don't want to say against entrepreneurship, but it's against empowering you.
Well, I'll give you an example of something. See, that's one. There are many other black businesses here, as you call them here. And I'll give you an example. ASAP Computers out there on Bluffton Road. Okay, the young man out there, Matt LeGrone. We worked together to help to get him into that. There were several of us out there that are in the computer fields and the computer industry and repairs and all that. We went together to help him to do that, moving in the whole bit, other issues and other ways. There was no problem with us helping because there's so many people out there with problems with computers and stuff. We have a right to be able to share with each other. And he puts back into the community. It's not about always, it's a my thing. It's got to get down to the point, it's an our thing. And until it gets down to that point of our thing, then we will always be in the back end of the street, a bus, always.
All right, now you said something there. All right, you said computers. All right, now, computers can be programmed. People are programmed. How do you go about changing the program that the people have been experiencing since slavery so that they behave in a more unified manner and do the things that blacks should be doing to reap the rewards that other ethnic groups are reaping for themselves?
Yeah, 430 years of slavery is written in here while they were in Israel. You were shown how to get out of slavery. You were shown in this book, this history book of Israel, of the Hebrew Israelites, how to get past all of that. And yet, we refuse to look at it. We're so busy stuck on the New Testament, thinking about something that is there that's not there. A mistaken identity or stolen identity used for religious purposes, for the enslavement of others. See, it all runs together. And until you get to the point of understanding what this book is about, and the people who are there, the people who are here today who represent it, all the other races out there, even the Jews will tell you, we know who you are, how come you don't?
But in English, how do you communicate what you just said more succinctly in terms of, 400 some odd years of history? You're not going to learn that in an hour, sitting down here in the span of a TV show.
We've had 450 years of learning.
But we haven't learned that. So my question is, here on New Year's Eve 2013, tomorrow is a beginning of a new year. How do we, what do we take from that? How do we take that and use that to go forward?
First thing you got to do is pick one up and start sitting down and reading it. That's the first thing you got to do. You want to talk about education. Education has to start at home. It's not started in some school.